Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I have a bit more material today to discuss, so this might be a bit longer than usual. But Surah Maidah, we're starting from Ayah 20. This is the context of Bani Israel and Hazrat Musa, and we'll read the ayah, then you'll understand, inshallah. So the surah says, وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ. And remember when Musa alayhi salam said to his nation, to his people, Ya qawmi, O people, O nation, اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم. Remember, mention, make remembrance of the ni'mat of Allah upon you. إذ جعل فيكم أنبياء. When He made from among you anbiya, messengers. وَجَعَلَكُمْ مُلُوكًا وَآتَاكُمْ. وَجَعَلَكُمْ مُلُوكًا, and He made you, what would you call it? Like, mulukan is kings, or like the authority. He gave you vast kingdoms. And remember that Bani Israel is the same line of the same nation that had constant prophets, constant anbiya for close to 2,000 years. Not a single moment in between from Hazrat Ismail, or like from Hazrat Ibrahim, Ismail, and then, from Hazrat Yaqub all the way down to Hazrat Isa. This time was a span of about 2,000 years, if I'm not mistaken, where they had constant prophets, one after the other, after the other, after the other. There was not a moment in between where they did not have a prophet, right? So Allah is saying, remember, or Hazrat Musa is saying to his nation, remember the favor of Allah upon you when He made from you prophets, and He gave you kingdom. وَجَعَلَكُمْ مُلُوكًا, when He made you kings. And we know that they had, in the history of Bani Israel, there are vast kingdoms. Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam, Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam. The list is unending. Vast kingdoms, authority unmatched, right? And وَآتَاكُمْ مَا لَمْ يُؤْتِ أَحَدًا مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ. And when He gave you something which He had not previously given to anyone in the world. And so what is, now we've already had a list of, what do you call it? A ni'mah, list of ni'mas, right? List of blessings. Now, after this reminder of everything that Allah has blessed you with, now the demand. Ya qawmi, O my nation, udkhulul al muqaddasata allati kataba Allahu lakum. Enter the Arz al Muqaddas, the Holy Land, Palestine, basically. Allati kataba Allahu lakum. Allah has written it for you. Allah has written that you will get it. وَلَا تَرْتَدُّوا عَلَىٰ أَدْبَارِكُمْ. And don't turn back. Don't turn your backs on it. Don't turn back in fighting. Don't retreat. فَتَنْقَلِبُوا خَاسِرِينَ. Because if you do that, then you will turn back as losers, as khasirin, as someone who's in extreme loss, right? So the demand now, and this is a promise. Forget demand. This is a promise. You go into Arz al-Muqaddas, you go into Palestine, and you fight for it. Allah has guaranteed you victory. It says, Allati kataballahu lakum. Allah has written it for you. It has already been written. There's no doubt. You will win. It is a promise. Right? And what they say, they said, qalu, they said, Ya Musa, O Musa, inna fiha qawman jabbarin. In there, indeed in that land, in that city, is qawman jabbarin, a very oppressive, a very strong, the tarjuma here says tyrannical strength, people with tyrannical strength, yeah? Like people with extreme strength and power, and people who are jabbar, right? وَأَنَّا لَن نَدْخُلَهَا حَتَّى يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا. And we will indeed never, we won't enter that land until those people leave. Now, are you seeing the arrogance here? Allah promised you victory, but you're like, no, we don't want to fight. If you want to give it to us fully, or don't give it to us. Like, that's literally what's being said. Like, if you want to give it to us, don't make us fight for it. Don't make us work for it. Just give it to us. Why are you playing games? That's the kind of arrogance Bani Israel is showing here. فَإِنْ يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا فَإِنَّا دَاخِلُونَ. And if they leave, then we will surely enter. So, now, قال رجلان من الذين يخافون أنعم الله عليهما. From those people, from that group, from that nation, from Bani Israel, were two men who Allah had, blessed them with. Allah had bestowed His favor upon them, and Allah had put in them taqwa, the yakhafun alayhim, the fear of Allah, right? So they stood up and they said, ادخلوا عليهم الباب فإذا دخلتموه فإنكم غالبون. The ادخلوا عليهم الباب, enter through those gates. فإذا دخلتموه, and if you enter, فإنكم غالبون, then you will surely be of the ghalibun, the ones who win, the ones who are victorious. Now, look at the depth of this promise. Allah, you can't get clearer than this. If you enter, you will win. You will be فَإِنَّكُمْ غَالِبُونَ. You will definitely be the ghalibun, the ones who win. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَتَوَكَّلُوا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. And have tawakkul upon Allah, rely upon Allah, in kuntum mu'minin, if you are truly believers. Now, arrogance again. قالوا, they said, the nation said, Ya Musa, O Musa, inna lan nadkhulaha abada. We are never entering that land. Abada, meaning that we're forever, never, ever, ever. We're not entering that land. ما داموا فيها, as long as they are in it, the people of tyrannical strength. فَاذْهَبْ أَنْتَ وَرَبُّكَ فَقَاتِلَ. So, we are sitting here. أَنْتَ وَرَبُّكَ فَقَاتِلَ. You and your... فَاذْهَبْ is... you go. أَنْتَ وَرَبُّكَ فَقَاتِلَ. You and your Rabb, you and your Lord go fight. إِنَّا هَا هُنَا قَائِدُونَ. We are sitting here. We are sitting here in the desert. You and your Lord go fight. And call us when you win. Right? I mean, imagine. You are being given a guaranteed victory. And you're this arrogant. They are saying, you and your Lord go fight. We are sitting right here. Inna hahuna qaidun. We are sitting right here. Qala Rabbi inni. Qala, and Musa alayhi salam said, Rabbi, O my Lord, inni la amliku illa nafsi wa akhi. Indeed, I do not have any authority. I do not have any power. Like, I have no control except over nafsi, myself, wa akhi, and my brother. فَافْرُقْ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. So put distance between us. Separate us from this qawm al-fasiqin, from this defiantly disobedient nation. This nation of fasiqs. Now imagine, a prophet, a Rasul, whose sole mission, who has so much rahmah and like there's just so much mercy in their heart for their people. It pains them to see them sin, right? Imagine pushing your Rasul to such an extent that he then turns to Allah and he says, فَافْرُقْ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. That fafruq, put distance, you separate us from them. I don't want to be with them anymore. I don't even want to be recognized as the same group. Like, imagine what you have to put your Rasul through to push him to that limit. So, قال, Allah says, فَإِنَّهَا مُحَرَّمَةٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَرْبَعِينَ سَنَةً. Then indeed, this land is forbidden to them for 40 years, 40 سنة. يَتِيهُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. They will roam about, they will wander like purposelessly. They will wander throughout the land. فَلَا تَأْسَ عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. But then again, these are messengers, they're prophets, right? They just can't, their hearts aren't the type to accept the fact that their people are fasiqeen. Their hearts can't accept that. So Allah is saying, then don't grieve over these fasiq people. Don't feel sad for them. Don't grieve for them. Don't pray that, I guide them. Now, once you make that dua, فَافْرُقْ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. Once you make the dua for their, against them, then it's done. Then there's no going back, right? So, and that's what happened. The Bani Israel, the land was forbidden to them for 40 years. They roamed throughout the desert, throughout the Sinai desert, for 40 years. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam died, Hazrat Harun alayhi salam, his brother died. A whole new generation came up, and then there's a whole story of what's after that. But what we're supposed to get from this story, from this part, is these people, Bani Israel, what was their crime? They were arrogant, right? And they weren't just arrogant. They wanted to keep getting stuff without working for it, right? They were given a promised victory, a guaranteed victory, and they did not take it. Is that not what we do as well? Is that not? Because how many things has Allah promised us? Literally, let me pull up some references. Allah says, وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّ اللَّهُ وَرَسُولَهُ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَإِنَّ حِزْبَ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. That indeed those who are allies, who are supporters, who are friends, who are walis of Allah and His Rasul, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and those who believe, فَإِنَّ حِزْبَ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. Then indeed this party of Allah, this group, this faction of Allah, these supporters of Allah, humul ghalibun, they will be the ghalibun. They will be and this is the same word. Note, this is the same word. They will be the victorious ones. They will be ghalib on on everyone else. They will be victorious. They will have control. Allah has promised us this. We have this very same promise. And what are we doing? We don't take it. How are we any different from Bani Israel, other than the fact that our messenger is no longer alive, our prophet is no longer alive? Like, imagine if he was alive today, would he not make the same dua against us that Musa alayhi salam made against his people? And just imagine what would become of us if that were to happen. If instead of what we're hoping for, what we all are, what we all hope and pray and, imagine for, that we'll get the shifa'ah, the intercession of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the Day of Judgment, that, oh Allah, this was my ummati, send him to Jannah. Imagine if like instead of that, he is praying against us. فَافْرُقْ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ قَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. Just imagine. Can we bear that? Can we survive that? I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I no, I cannot. Another look at this, and this was about the people of the book. This was about Bani Israel as well, but like the same applies to us. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ أَقَامُوا التَّوْرَاةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلَ. And if they established, they stood upon التوراة and al-Injil, وَمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْهِمْ, and whatever we sent down, and whatever was sent down to them من ربهم, from their Lord, لَأَكَلُوا مِنْ فَوْقِهِمْ, then they would eat from above them, from above their heads, وَمِنْ تَحْتِ أَرْجُلِهِمْ, and from beneath their feet, from beneath their steps. مِنْهُمْ أُمَّةٌ مُقْتَصِدَةٌ, and among them are a people who are balanced, who are moderate. وَكَثِيرٌ مِّنْهُمْ سَاءَ مَا يَعْمَلُونَ, but many of them, the kathir of them, are like evil. They are despicable. مَا يَعْمَلُونَ, they're just despicable of that. What they do is despicable. It's evil, right? The promise here being, if they established the Torah and the Injil, and just replace Torah and Injil with Quran, they're all books of Allah, right? So if they established the Torah and the Injil, they would eat from above their heads and from beneath their feet. Are we eating today from above our heads and beneath our feet? And if we're not, I think it's pretty clear why not. Because we didn't establish the Quran. We're given a clear promise. This is not a joke. We are given a promise clear as day. You establish the book, you will be victorious. You become the wali of Allah, you become an ally of Allah and His Rasul, you will be victorious, you will be ghalib. You establish the book, you will eat abundantly. What is happening to the Muslim world today? What state is the Muslim Ummah in today? And who is responsible for that? Are we not responsible for that? Are we not? I mean, it's honestly, we need to open our eyes and see what's happening. It goes further in Surah Al Maidah. This is sort of like a side topic. But Allah says, Ya ayyuha Rasul, بَلِّغْ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. The O Messenger, O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, بَلِّغْ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. Make sure, spread the message. Announce, so make sure that they get. بَلِّغ is to make sure that someone receives a message. مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. Whatever Allah has revealed to you, whatever your Lord has revealed to you. وَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلْ, and if you do not do such, so if you fail in this, فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَتَهُ, then you have not completed the risalat, the duty of risalat has not been completed. It has not reached the people. And it's pretty clear, this isn't about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah isn't directing this to him. It's directed to us. He completed his task. There was no doubt in him completing his task. He was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is for us. the responsibility of بَلِّغْ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ is now on us. We need to spread the message. We need to make sure that the word of Allah gets spread and reaches each and every person. That is the Muslim Ummah's responsibility now. And if we don't do this, then I'm sorry, we have failed as an Ummah. We have failed the mission of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that we deserve more than everything that we are getting right now. The state of the Muslim Ummah right now is testament to us not fulfilling our responsibilities and our duties. And forget fulfilling our duties as a Muslim Ummah. We are currently in a state, the Muslim Ummah is currently in a state where we dream big. You stop someone and ask them, what they want to do about Palestine, and they will say, we will pray Fajr in Masjid al-Aqsa. Sure, great. Do you pray Fajr in your local masjid? Heck, forget local masjid. How many times a year do you go to the masjid? How many times a year do you actually pray? We like to talk a lot. We like to talk big. When it comes time to actually doing something, I'm sorry, we are worse than Bani Israel. We are worse than Bani Israel. The only difference being our Rasul isn't present right now to make the dua فَافْرِقْ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. So unless we fix ourselves, and we fix ourselves fast, the state of the Muslim Ummah is only going to keep getting worse. And this is our responsibility now. The Prophet isn't here anymore. He isn't here anymore. He will not be answerable for what we are doing now. This is all on us. This is completely 100% on us. And we will have to stand in the court of Allah. And we will have to answer for what we did, for how we did or did not